Hey guys, happy Monday. I just came back from work, from my job, that is, not spell work. And I wanted to make a quick Q&A because we had some interesting questions. So the first one is not going to be that interesting because we talked about it before, and I think that most of you already know this, but pretty much every couple of days I'll get this question, and that is, why are my other exes reaching out? Why am I getting more attention from people? So we already talked about that. Any love working in combine with raising your vibration will just make you more attractive in general. And since usually we are doing spells to get your ex back, other exes may reach out if they are still interested, and if they are, available, if they feel like doing it, basically. So not every single ex is gonna reach out. Some exes are over you and will not feel anything from the spell work, but some will pick up on some energies, and those will be the ones that were, that are still not over you, and that were, maybe thinking about you here and there, and then they're just going to be pushed to reach out. That's basically how it works. So it's very normal, it's very common. Almost every client will have experiences like this. So nothing to be alarmed. It does not mean that your ex that you want back will not come back. It also doesn't mean that they will, because this just has nothing to do with the actual X. So it's just like side effects from the spell work and vibrational work. So I hope that's clear to everyone. So the second question is quite interesting. One client has asked me if they had any powers, because they've noticed that when someone is being rude to them, um, they have some bizarre little accidents afterwards. The answer is yes, definitely. You definitely have some powers that you're not even aware of, because you don't really control this. It's just kind of like you are protected, and they're basically getting back for like hurting you. So I don't know, most of you probably haven't listened to that audio, but I've spoken about my experience with the same thing, because since I was a kid this has been happening, and I haven't really wanted anything evil to happen to those people or anything harmful. But sometimes when someone was, and these were just random people, like someone randomly uh tried to, I talked about this old witch that when I was going in high school, that tried to basically hex me. And she came to my house, and I'm gonna have to repeat this because who would find this audio? And she was acting really weirdly, and my mother told me what she was trying to do. And then the old lady asked me to bring her water, and my mom was like, oh no, I'm gonna bring you water. And she was like, no, I want her to bring me water. It was super bizarre, and she was like touching my head the whole time. And I went to get her water. I had holy water with me. I made a cross above the water. Now I will say that I'm not religious, and when I do magic, I do use some elements that are from Christianity, such as baptizing and some other things. As if you're a client, it's just because I was raised Catholic, and when I was a child I was Catholic, and when I started doing my first spells as a kid, before I knew they were really spells, I did use a lot of religious things. And that's just how I learned to do magic. So my magic does have elements of that still. So I made a cross, and I did put some holy water before she even came for protection on my forehead. And she was like touching it, and it was protected basically. and I was like above the water. I did the return to sender, basically, spell work, which basically means that any ill intentions the person has will actually go back to them. So that's what I did, and she drank the water. She went home, and the next day I was going to school as normal, and I ran into her granddaughter, which was actually in my class, and she told me, "Oh my God, my grandma ended up in the ER when she came back from your house. She just got super sick. It was super weird." So that's just one example. I have plenty, but this is just so you know what that would be like. And this was when I was actually aware of the intentions and did the return to sender. However, the other times I was not even thinking about it and it still happened. And it was not that these people were trying to do some magic on me. They were just having evil intentions, just like people, non magic related. So, yeah, it does mean you have powers. So, maybe explore that if you want to, if you feel comfortable. I know that not everyone does. And there are people that really are quite um, would be quite powerful if they would like go into it, but they just choose not to, and that's totally fine. So it's up to you whether if you want to or not. Nobody is like trying to persuade you. It's always your decision. But yeah, events like this, if someone else had these types of stuff happen, are indicators that you can be prone to doing magic, basically. Another thing I wanted to talk about was the return to sender spell. So I know a lot of you are scared of like getting hexed by the spellcasters you tried before that actually threatened you with it, or similar stuff, which I already told you that you don't have to be scared. But for those who still are, I will be making an audio that will not be public, just because I just want it for limited amount of people, about how you can protect yourself and how you can do return to sender spell if that's what you want to do, because then the sender will get 3 times what they wanted to do to you. I will also say that this return to sender has some parts where that are in my native language, and that's just how it works best. I mean, you can always Google the terms so you can see what I mean. It's nothing secretive, but just so you know. Okay, so moving on. So the next question is, can every ex come back? The answer is no. Also talked about this before. So no, 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 no. Unfortunately, no. Um, Sometimes, even if, and I have one example from my practice, and I'm like not, I'm always honest, so I'm gonna tell you the example. So I have had this client. I mean, still have, but I'm not doing spell work anymore for this purpose because it's pointless, basically. And we did like 5 spells on the X, and had no movement at all. And I'm pretty sure that the client was following instructions, was not needy or desperate. There were elements, there always will be some elements of neediness here and there. That's normal, but like wasn't in low vibration fully. So basically, uh, the target is emotionally unavailable, which we talked about. That is a choice, and some people were able to crack and open up, but this one just didn't. And you know, I told I told the client that there is no point in continuing because this ex is just obviously not not coming back. And so yeah, not everyone will be listening to pushes basically, because it's always up to their free will. And some, in some cases, when you have your vibration in check and everything, so it's not coming from you, it it can be that the target is very stubborn, which again can be broken by spell work. But sometimes they just don't want to. They don't have feelings for you. They don't really have a lust for you. There's nothing there. So there has to be some things there, obviously, some interest, some love, some emotion, some lust, even like in the past. So we are waking them up. And in this case, it was just not there. So it was a hard case to begin with, and just didn't work out. So you have better chances if your ex really have had a lot of feelings for you, or if your ex if there was a lot of passion, that didn't go away. Because as you know, lust tends to go away over time. But if it didn't, if it was, and if you broke up before it actually ended, that is really good, because that lust is still there somewhere. Also, if it hasn't been too much time, yes, it can still work if it has been a lot of time, because sometimes energetic bonds will stay forever if you're like really connected and it hasn't stopped. But for most people, they will get weaker and weaker with years, and they will like get broken off with years. But again, it depends. Some will stay, so it's not impossible, but it's more likely that if it's been like years, that it will not work, because the person has probably moved on, and the energetic bonds are probably still not there anymore. Sometimes they will be, and sometimes they won't be. It really does depend. So basically, it depends on a lot of things, and we can't really know until we try. So that's just how it is. Okay, so this other thing I'm going to talk about was not a question, but I just want to share it because I've noticed that it's not really talked about in the magic community, and that other casters don't really share this. And that is what it's like to work with all of these energies of other people. Because us spellcasters are basically, working with a bunch of other energies, and it does affect us. And I'm gonna tell you why I practice in a certain way, because this is exactly why I do it. So basically, as you know, I don't take a lot of clients. I don't have a lot of clients, and the reason for that is, of course, I don't have that much time, and I wanna give to each client premium service. So if I had a bunch, I couldn't talk to all of them, and couldn't, really connect with all of them, and my work would even be worse than like this, because I do need to connect with people as much as possible, and find out about their situation as much as possible and about them. But the main reason is because I don't want to be connected to too many energies, because that is just not healthy for your mental health, and just for you in general. It affects you, being connected with so many energies in such profound way is not the way to go. So of course we do regular cleansings and protections and all sorts of stuff, but still, most of the times you are just wired to other people's energies, and if you take a lot of clients, it can be overwhelming, and it's just not good. Trust me. And then the other thing is that it definitely depends what kind of energies you connect to. So this is why I'm so picky when I do take clients. I want to make sure that they are good people, so their energies are going to be pleasant, and I want to make sure that their exes are also good people, because I will be connecting to those energies as well. And I don't want to be connecting myself with bad negative energies who have bad intentions. That's definitely super bad for you. And even in readings, it's never good to connect to those type of energies, and a lot of people do have those type of energies. And I know some tarot readers that will also just refuse to work on certain type of questions, because they do they soak up energies like a sponge. That's what we do, right? Because we can work with energies, and magic is energy work, and tarot readings are energy work as well. So we soak up energies as a sponge, and soaking up bad energies, negative energies, energies with bad intentions, whatever you want to call them, is not good for us. So a lot of tarot readers will just refuse those types of questions about certain types of people, or whatever the case may be. So, I don't know if many people know about this, because I rarely see this being talked about. But, us, being picky, not taking a lot of clients, not taking everyone, is not because we are full of ourselves or anything like that. We have reasons why we want to protect our energy and us, and that's really important. And there's a bunch of other reasons as well, as I mentioned some. So, energy work is not easy for everyone who thinks it is. It's not easy. There's a lot of things that are pretty hard about it. You will also feel drained after it, and it's just not how some people imagine it to be, basically. Which is another reason why I will not take a bunch of clients, because I can't physically do that much energy work. I would just be super tired, and I don't want to be super tired, obviously. So there you go. There are just some stuff I wanted to share, um, because I just feel that it's not really discussed enough, and I think it should be, because people don't really understand what it's like and how it works. So I think those are all the questions we had. These are not, by the way, when I do these Q&As, it's not necessary that someone asks these questions today. Like, for example, the one about having powers was asked a couple of days ago, but I just didn't have time to film it then, because I had some other questions I wanted to answer. But so if your question is not answered in an audio right away, it doesn't mean that it won't be. Uh, you know, because I do get a lot of questions, and these Q&As, I try to make them as short as possible. So I'm gonna end it now for it to not be too long. I hope everyone will have a great week, and don't forget, magic is real. And what else did I want to say? Um, just have to check my notes. Yeah, I wanted to say my favorite mantra: miracles happen every day, and they can happen to you too, and to everybody. So, bye.